about you. This cell of ice and fire, what blood red death, lost in desire, smell of life.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Live and direct from what is going on over here? Whole Damn Enchilada Podcast. Rick Paulton and Ryan Inman. What do
Coffee
you got
boy.
going on there, brother?
Just have to get into caffeine, man. I almost fell asleep.
You know, fell asleep. Yeah. Right on, man.
How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm drinking one of my birthday presents from you. Got a Lake Erie Monster, the return of the Lake Erie Monster.
Yeah, you disappeared for a while.
Yeah. It's good. You know what I really like that they canceled? Remember that one? They changed the name of it? Alchemy Hour.
Yes.
Alchemy Hour, and they changed it to Chill Wave. I just always hated the name Chill Wave.
I don't like it.
Alchemy
Yeah, I don't
Hour
like
is so tough sounding.
Yeah, I don't like the name Chill Wave either, but the beer is still fantastic.
Beer's still the same.
Exactly true.
From the fabulous Great Lakes Brewery here in Cleveland, Ohio.
I wouldn't call them fabulous, but they're pretty good.
They've been stepping their game up lately, man. Though you wouldn't know that. But no, they came out with these these couple beers are called Vibacious.
Yeah.
And they do a West Coast version and an East Coast version pretty much, and they're pretty decent, man. What's up, Charles Sherrod? Bill Wolf in the house. Haven't seen you in a couple weeks, buddy. How you doing? Got a couple people here already. Speaking of Charles Sherrod, as you can see in the ticker below me, tonight, download the Rumble app. You might be able to watch it also on Facebook, but Charles is doing Godzilla -1 tonight. So he'll be playing the movie. God knows how he's doing it. Who cares how he's doing it? Check it out. If you haven't seen Godzilla -1, in my opinion, the best made horror movie of all time. I don't know of all time. We go back to the 60s and the Alfred Hitchcocks, things like that. But it definitely should have won an Oscar. It should have been nominated for Best Picture. It should have won. When you see it, you'll call me and you'll be like, you weren't talking shit.
Funny you mentioned that. Funny you mentioned that. I mean, I haven't seen it yet, so I can't say anything. I'll take your word for it. I do want to watch it eventually.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite movie of all time. Don't confuse the two. Just like
when
we grade our movies.
Yeah. Just like I can say Silence of the Lambs is one of the best films of the last 30 years, but it's not one of my favorite.
Right. Exactly.
I understand greatness,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely check it out. It's fucking really sweet. So before we get into it tonight, we got our guest in the green room. We'll be introducing him in a second. We're supposed to have two guests, but we got big timed. What's up, Karen? How you doing? Planning to see it Friday night with friends? Yeah, it's amazing. You're gonna love it.
I bet our second guest that called off didn't sign his call off slip either, did he?
No, he doesn't sign things, man.
No.
You gotta pay money for. You know what he did do though? So while I'm talking shit about him, he sent me a new webcam. So I don't know if you guys can see me better today, but he hooked me up with this webcam, and he gave me this little piece of artwork, which I love it because it's like the NES Jason, and since I got the NES Jason cosplay and all that good stuff, it's gonna look great on the wall. So
really, that looks cool. Now that looks cool, but if we can see you better, then we need to blame him for something. That's
it. It's all his fucking fault. Now look at my ugly mug, and it's not as blurry.
Well, at least it's not double ugly in your studio this week like it was last week.
Yeah, like last week. Last week was a fucking blast, right?
Yeah. I got some people, some friends of mine that never watch us because they're just not into this, actually tuned in last week.
A lot of people tuned in last week. That's what I was going to say. We hit 300 something views with that video, and a couple of our other videos, I guess, after they went for that, started checking out some other stuff. One of our videos is up to 600 and change. Our interview with Rakefet Abergil.
Yeah.
So some of them are really doing good, and those are just rewatching the Facebook live feeds. So I don't know what's going on with that, but I mean, you guys liking and sharing and everything, that's really helping out, and I appreciate it. But one more thing before we get into our guests, we get into our topic at hand. I went to the 21 Days of Horror Fest a couple of days ago on a whim. I didn't even realize it was happening, and I went. They had It's all 8 to 10 minute short films, like 8 to 10 in each section. And I had to go to just one section because I was working at my real job. But it's real cool films. One of them's coming out tomorrow on YouTube, and it's like this Friday the 13th mockumentary, and it's freaking hilarious. I'm gonna post it on the page. It's 10 minutes, and it's so funny. It's called I got the name of it written down somewhere.
Yeah, I got my notes right here.
Jacob's Little Helper, because they don't use the real names for anything.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Like the one girl her name is Adrian Palmer.
Adrian Palmer.
Mix up Adrian King and Betsy.
Yeah.
It's cool. I promise you. You're a Friday 13th fan. You're gonna love it. You're gonna think it's freaking cute. And you're gonna
awesome. Anything related to it, I'll obviously check out.
So some of those movies are really good though, and really the kids really had a good time. Me and my two younger kids went, and Ron George, he was the guy putting on the show. He contacted me after about being on our show. Mm-hmm. So he's done special effects and makeups in a lot of different movies, and he's going to be on next week.
Okay.
So I wanted to get that out there, and without further ado, let's see.
Yeah, I actually had a topic I wanted to bring up too that kind of relates to that last thing, but let's bring Jarad in for this because I'd like to hear his thoughts on it as well.
Okay. So without further ado, the host of the Halloween Haunts 365, he's seen more haunted houses than the Warrens. Horrorshed podcast founder and co-host, biggest Freddy Krueger mark this side of the Mississippi, was recently made to be a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest, and he fucking won. The man that made the best damn intro Melanie Kidman has ever seen. My fucking friend and guest, the one and only Jarad Hagerty. And that's with one G, to not confuse him with the other Hagerty.
What's up?
What's up, brother?
How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, man. I was toying with it because I was planning on having Brian on, and I got my Ric Flair intro for him, and I was like, I can't have a cool intro for him and not Jarad, you know. So I was toying with different things. I was going over old promos and everything. So with that one, I just freestyled it myself. I was listening to get inspiration, the intros that the guy does for the hot dog eating contest.
Yeah.
You know the guy. I can't remember his name. When he introduces fucking Joey Chestnut, I was like, something like that'll be sweet. So hopefully you dug that.
Oh, that was awesome. That was really good. I got to bring my head back in now.
Right on, man.
That is pretty cool. I don't know if you got to see that last week, but yeah, Jarad, Melanie did say that was like the coolest intro on any show she's ever
missed
done.
that part, but I watched the rest because I just got home from therapy. But I went back and listened to that, and that was pretty cool.
She put you over, like, man.
When you have you in the waiting room, like, we could still see you, down there. And she was in there. She was jamming to the music, and she really liked the video. Yeah, she was loving it. So I was like, that's pretty cool. Awesome. Anything new going on over there? All right. So the topic tonight is going to be in my notes. Before you get into this, did you want to talk about whatever you started to bring up?
I did. Crystal Lake series getting canceled or being postponed indefinitely.
Yeah, we don't know what's going on with that.
Yeah, like the whole Pamela backstory, since you brought up,
Oh, yeah, Adrian Palmer.
Palmer. So that just reminded me of that. So I was just wondering what Jared's thoughts, what yours were, and I'll give mine.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think that I don't know. I just don't know. I think that they waited too long, that the strike delaying it. I think a lot of money was wasted, and that's what I think happened.
Do you think during this strike, a lot of the people involved just found other things to work on, maybe? Or
yeah, I think it's a mix of that, or they didn't want to put up the money post-strike to do something that really the diehard fans are going to love it, but if it doesn't work, it's going to be anarchy.
Right.
So, like, if you look at what's the movie? Look at all the backlash The Crow is getting, and really, who cared about the original Crow? I mean, it was a decent movie, but The Following Friday has, and you're going to mess up that series. You're gonna have cars on fire in the streets. Like, it's just, I don't think they want to touch it until they're completely ready.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. We've been 15 years since anything new. If they're not ready by now, when are they gonna be?
Yeah, I think they got scared of their idea.
Dave Brown was working on a prequel story himself, and he backed off of it because he was worried, that this would be too much like it, and they might, give him a hard time. And I told him, I was like, whether or not they do this or not, just fucking do your movie.
I saw he reopened his group page.
You opened the page, so I think he's gonna. He posted something today or yesterday that he's gonna do like a 3-part, 20 minutes each kind of deal, which I think that'd be easier to produce for sure, and might be cool. I hope it's cool. So
yeah, I could see that though. Like the original thought that they had, it could be a multi-season actual show, and it would work. Think like what Bates Motel is to like Psycho. They could have done that.
I haven't seen that.
Oh, it's fantastic.
It's really good.
Me and my daughter have been talking about watching it because she loves Psycho.
She would love it.
It's a
she
great
likes
show.
the sequels even. She likes them. Each one she liked less.
Dude, Vera Farmiga, or however you say her name, she's really good in it. But that
I love her.
Freddie Highmore or whatever is amazing.
Yeah, Willy Wonka or Charlie.
Yeah, he's amazing as Norman Bates, man.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested in it. I got to get to it because like it's something for me and her to do. Because like I said, she Psycho she loves, and then she liked all the sequels, but she just like me, to be honest, liked each one a little less.
Yeah, and that show, it was formatted perfectly too. I think it ran 5 seasons, if I'm not mistaken. And it told the story. It took its time. It didn't rush it, but it didn't overstay its welcome either.
Right on. Your background looks a little different, Jared. What's going on? You moved some stuff around, or did you?
Yeah, I moved Freddie to show off the Wall of Fame.
That's what's going on. I was like, you got this big spot over here that's.
I had a whole picture of like all our travels on that board, and nobody could see it because Freddie's in the way. So what's the point of having a Wall of Fame?
Right on. So tonight we are going to discuss.
Before you start, I want Ryan's and the chat's opinion on the screen I'm sharing down here. Okay, now, this is the new back of our hoodies and T-shirts.
All right, for the Halloween Haunts 365.
Yeah.
Do I got to put it up?
I think you do. I can't do it.
All right,
there
it is.
There we go.
I like the way instead of just showing like the icons for the YouTubes and everything like you had before, in the first round that you sent to me earlier. I like that you put them on the tombstones. It got them gray. So
I like that too. I like the tombstone effect.
Because before it was just, the generic actual icons, like the red YouTube logo, the blue Facebook dot, so when it's green, so less colors too to make them gray. I like it a lot, man.
Yeah, I'm at 99%. That's our new back.
Yeah, I like it a lot. The other one was it was cool, but like it said the same thing over and over again.
Right, and that bothered me.
Which I never even noticed, but that might be what caused the problem with the shirts breaking down too.
Right. And this is going to be printed on that background picture, so it's one solid print instead of individual letters printed. Yeah. So that's why I did a background.
Well, as soon as you got them up for order, you let me know, and I'll definitely order one.
Yeah, we'll see.
I had one idea for that, but then I thought since it's on a shirt, it probably wouldn't have worked. But if that was like, if you were going to use that image on something else, like anything flat or just like digitally, I'd put a QR code on it too.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. That's just me though.
Yeah, I need to figure out how to make one of those so I can get Rosa, our friend Rosa, to print us up some stickers with the QR
God codes. Damn it, Ryan! I was done.
So, anywho, tonight we are going to talk the year in horror, 1979, like we tend to do every once in a while on this show. And I went and seen Alien in the theater and realized it was from 79. So, and I'm born in 79. So I decided to look up movies from 79. I thought a couple of them were good, but it's definitely a top heavy year.
Yeah.
So we'll get into that. But in 1979, things that happened in 1979.
Not a lot.
I didn't have a lot of good shit, okay? But we'll go through what I got. So we got the Guardian Angels were formed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which gave Big Bubba his worst gimmick in wrestling.
Yeah, the biker club. Yeah.
But remember when Boss Man Big Bubba Rogers became the Guardian Angel?
Yeah, I did.
God, was that lame. The first televised Daytona 500.
79, who won?
I didn't look.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Do you know who won?
No.
Okay. We'll say Richard Petty.
Petty.
Nobody's going to tell me I'm wrong, right?
I think Petty won that fucker like 7 times. So
yeah,
odds are.
The odds are. Dale Earnhardt started that year. He won his first career race at Bristol, but it wasn't.
Okay.
He didn't win the 500.
Okay. No, not yet. That'll do him for a while.
Bird in the NCAA finals.
Yep, I knew that.
The launch of Nickelodeon.
Didn't know that.
May 8th, which also happens to be my birthday, The Cure's first album was released, Boys Don't Cry.
That's a good one, too.
And, Robert Smith is awesome.
Yes, he is.
The shit he did this past year, like making sure his actual fans could get tickets to the shows, and the people couldn't make fees off of them. You couldn't transfer tickets, all that shit. Yeah. He lost a lot of money doing it, and it was, it's awesome. It was awesome that he did that. Hopefully, it helps to change things.
Even if you're not into their music, you got to respect that. That
definitely
that's the point. Yeah, I don't know if
any of us that's bought a $25 ticket and paid $55 at checkout because of this fee and that fee and all this other shit, and then all the scalpers. He fucked over the scalpers, which is also awesome.
Because they couldn't transfer tickets, all sales were final.
Yep. On May 8th. Reunited was the #1 song by Peaches and Herb.
I don't know that song.
Really?
No.
Yeah. Were you trying to trick me into singing it?
No.
I was just saying, it's not going to work.
No, I legit don't know that song off the top of my head. If I heard it, I bet you I'd know it right away.
Definitely know. It's been used commercials, mini commercials. Reunited because it feels so good.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
We know it. We just wanted to.
I know you probably did.
I actually didn't. Which for me, not knowing like a song is like crazy. But no,
you're the fucking library for God's sakes. Yeah. Sonics won the finals by beating the Washington Bullets.
Ooh.
Who, just like our Cleveland Indians, name was not PC anymore, and they had to change it to the Wizards.
Yes.
Long before we had to change ours.
The Bullets.
The Bullets.
Well, DC Bullets, come on.
It fits the town, doesn't it?
It writes itself.
Topical. Right. The Happy Meal was invented.
Ah.
The Muppet movie came out.
Sweet. The original one is awesome.
The original one is awesome. The first ever top 40 rap single. Anybody know what it is?
Rapper's Delight by Sugar Hill Gang. Yep.
And ESPN debuted. That's what we have.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool stuff.
So ESPN and Nickelodeon. So that's right when cable was blowing up then.
Yep. Karen says that was awesome, Rick. She's talking about my awful singing because it was 2 minutes ago, so that must be what she was talking about.
We're gonna cut that out and like put it over the song, right? I have to get that to Jared Levin.
If we knew how to do any of that shit. Giving us way too much credit, man. And then they got a couple people putting parts of their list up. Like Bill says his favorite movie of '79 was Phantasm, Alien a close second. Karen says Alien and Salem's Lot. So we'll get into those. So the way we do this is we rank our top 5 movies, and we start with our guest, which would be you, Jared, and you'll give us your 5th movie on your list, and then we'll go around, and if we also had it on our list, just like we did the Nightmare rankings, so that way we don't have to talk about the same thing more than once. And we'd say where it is on our list, and then we maybe talk about it for a second, and then grade the movie on a letter grade scale from F to A. So whenever you're ready, you can give us your number 5 film of 1979.
All right. Before I start this, I'm going to say I didn't rewatch anything because I figured if I went by memory, that's what really stuck out to me over, my 42 years. And then,
absolutely.
Yeah. So number 5 for me was The Brood. I remember this being a very weird movie. I remember the actress being awesome and then weird shit happening. That's all I remember about the movie.
It's funny you brought that up because I had never seen it. And I came up with this idea 2 weeks ago because we had Melanie the week before. So I had some time to watch some movies. And this, if I seen it when I was a kid, I know I did, The Brood, but like a little kid, 5 and 6 years old. I haven't watched it since. And it's Cronenberg, which I am not very familiar with. Ryan is, right? You like him a lot, right?
I do.
Talk about that?
I do.
All right. And so I decided to watch it. I don't remember if it made my list or not, but it was fucking awesome. Right? You got something you want to say about The Brood?
Yeah. Two things. One, yes, I'm a big fan of David Cronenberg. We've talked about him before, and I pretty much perennially rank his films higher than Rick because I'm just more familiar with him, I think.
Yeah.
But number two, the big surprise, did not make my top 5.
Oh, it did make my top 5. I just double checked, and it was number 5. What's
Cronenberg?
Up?
Yeah.
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Oh no.
Cronenberg died?
I didn't hear about that.
I think you might have just killed Cronenberg. Let's see. Riveting. But yeah, he was in it, and remember you were telling me that he was in Jason Goes to Hell.
Yes.
No, I'm sorry.
No.
Friday
Jason
10 X. Jason X.
Yeah.
And I'm watching the film, and the one guy with the comb over. I was thinking that was Cronenberg because he's also in Jason X. That guy with the weird comb over deal.
I got the wrong guy. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't think so. I would have heard about.
He is 81 though, so any day now, Jared.
Hey.
I'm thinking Corman. I'm an idiot.
Oh yeah, Roger Corman did
pass about that
a couple days ago.
Same thing.
Legendary filmmaker, different kind of filmmaker.
It was close.
But
no, I like the film.
Other guy's name.
I like the film a lot. I'm not a huge vampire person. I'm not, but
it's not a vampire movie.
I know that one's not. I just think of The Brood.
Oh yeah, that Brood.
As I just read an article about that. So
it was actually based on a custody battle with his ex-wife.
That
makes sense if you've seen the movie recently. Like, it's about a father who's trying to have his kid, and the mother's crazy, and this guy's doing this experimental therapy with her, and then there's these freaky little kids running around that look like her daughter that are about the same size, but they're like killing people, and it's pretty freaking cool. It's free on Tubi, which is where I seen it, and yeah, Cronenberg's a weird motherfucker, man. I kind of like it.
Well, if you like that one, I would definitely delve into some of the other one. It was at 1980.
Scanners is next on my list.
Yeah, that one's way up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've heard a lot of good things about that. And I know I seen it as a kid, so I don't know if I liked it or not, but we'll see. And it's also free. That one's on Max, so I'm gonna check that out. What is your number 5, Ryan?
Where you said that?
Oh, wait a minute. Let's grade The Brood.
Yeah, hold on. Before you do that, you did say it make your top. You said you did say it did make your top 5, but you didn't say where.
No, I said it was 5.
Oh,
I had to double check. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it did make my top 5 at 5. But my top 5 changed so much. You'd see a bunch of stuff.
That's what you get for rewatching.
Yeah, it wouldn't have made my top 5 had I not rewatched it because I didn't remember it. I just remembered I'd seen it. But the Brood, I would give it a C+.
Exactly, it's exactly where I would put it too.
C+. From your memory, where would you grade it?
That's where I'm at.
Same. Okay, cool. So Michael Ironside was awesome in Scanners. Bill Wolf says.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What was your number 5?
My number 5. Wow, I think Jared might be mad at me for this one, but it's probably pretty low compared to other people. But it's
I know where you're going, and I can't believe it's number 5.
Amityville Horror is my number 5.
Amityville Horror is number 5. Holy shit! Mm-hmm. Yeah, the top 5 movies of this year are really good, though. So.
They are. I think there were like 7 or 8 of them I really liked, and then it did kind of fall off a bit. And I had this one spot higher, but I wrestled with it throughout the day. And you'll see when you get to my number 4, just one overriding factor bumped another one a little higher. So, yeah, I mean, it's obviously for what it is, it's as good as it gets. But that specific kind of haunted housey thing is not my favorite kind of thing.
Maybe you have it rated so low because of the 8 million freaking sequels that it spawned, and you're resentful towards it.
Yeah, because none of them are any good.
Not a. The 3D one had its merits. It was okay. You know, he's shaking his head.
I agree with Jared on that one.
I think I liked it because it was dumb though. You know, like I like dumb shit. You
like
know?
Jaws 3D dumb, or
like Saw 3D.
Jaws.
I don't remember. Was Saw 3D bad?
No, I said Jaws 3D.
Oh, like Jaws 3D dumb. Absolutely, yes, yes. Which I also liked, by the way.
I know you did. It's so bad.
I think you said Saw 3D. I was gonna say I remember that being goofy. Maybe it was.
No, Saw 3 is actually pretty okay for me. But no, man, I don't have it higher. I thought about it, but I just can't with the other movies that came out this year. So.
Yeah, I had it at I had it at 4. I had it at 3. I had it at 2, and I think I ultimately landed on 2.
2? Okay.
So where'd you have that fucker, Jared? I know you got it on your list.
Oh, you know where it's at on my list.
It's number 1?
It's number 1.
Yeah, I figured it would be.
Well, you know,
haunted houses are my thing. Like
I
love the house motif in movies. That's why I fell for The Conjuring, the 1984, The Haunting. Like I love the haunted house. So out of all these, I mean, it wasn't the best made movie out of all of them, but to me, it's one I'll watch maybe one other movie on my list, like religiously, but Amityville I've watched more than any of them.
Yeah, I like it a lot. I think it's really good.
This might go against the grain, but I kind of like the remake too.
I like the remake a lot.
Never seen it.
It's good.
Never got around to it.
You might enjoy it.
You might like it.
It was a weird role for Ryan Reynolds, but I think he fucking killed it.
He totally pulled it off.
I like him in some movies that I probably shouldn't, like even like dramatic stuff.
Yeah, he played it. He did it really good.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. I thought it was the remake. I was gonna bring that up. I was gonna say where were you at on the remake, but I guess you haven't seen it.
It's like a different. It's like a more realistic take of what happened.
What happened? And the reason he says what happened is because Jared is one of the foremost experts on Amityville, and you can find that out by checking out his podcast, the Horrorshed podcast, where they did a 10-part breakdown of all of the
Warrens,
all the Warren cases, with that one being the piece de la resistance.
Here's my whole deal with the whole thing. Until I'm allowed to fire a Marlin in that house and nobody around there hears it, then I'm going to say, okay, he was on drugs and that's what happened. But the fact that everyone was in their bed on multiple levels and multiple rooms with an extremely loud firearm firing off 8 times, I call something weird happened.
Yeah.
That's my only hang up on Amityville. That doesn't make sense to me.
Bill says, what about Friday the 13th 3D? That was actually one of our lowest rated Friday the 13th it's happened.
Go back in our archive. We long form reviewed that one a couple months ago.
Yeah. Yeah, and we came to the conclusion that it was blah. It was just there.
We're going to finally do the ranking for the full series eventually. I'm not going to spoil where that is, but the most overrated Friday the 13th film for me.
Most definitely. And I've seen it in the theater, and I do enjoy watching. I still watch it pretty regularly. It's a short film. It doesn't take forever to watch. You don't have to pay too much attention to it. Eat your popcorn. Watch Jason kill some people. And in 3D, you get to see a couple of the cool effects. And, it's worth watching. But, yeah, it was definitely one of the worst reviewed ones we've done so far.
But it didn't come out in 1979, so let's go back.
Yeah.
Quick little tie-in. I know, Rick, when we did that Twilight Zone episode, one of your favorite episodes of season 1 was an episode called I Shot an Arrow into the Air.
Yeah.
And that was directed by Stuart Rosenberg, who directed the Amityville Horror. Just thought I'd throw that out there for you.
Nice. And that's why you're the fucking library.
And also, you brought up Alfred Hitchcock earlier. Stuart Rosenberg, I think, directed 5 of those. And he did one called Dead Weight, which is one of my favorite Alfred Hitchcock Presents episodes.
Nice. I'm going to have to look into that guy.
Yeah, he broke into TV first. And, of course, we know he went on to make Cool Hand Luke, which is phenomenal. So, not
South
horror.
Jersey Jason Our second guest that couldn't make it finally popped into the comments. He says, "Sup,
big
bitches?"
star in the house.
Yeah. Oh, God. Everybody kneel down.
So, Brian, we're on our number 5 movie.
Letter grades.
What's
letter
your number
grades for
5
Amityville.
movie?
Letter grades for Amityville.
I'm going to give that a B. I'm going to grade it higher. What did you grade it, Jared?
B+.
B+.
B-.
B-. Yes, we're all pretty close on that. Rosa says, "Hi, sorry I'm late." Bill says that he gives it a B. No, it's a great film, man. It was very well done, very well acted. Great actors in it. Did I have any cool facts about that? I probably did.
I just thought the Stuart Rosenberg tie-in was pretty cool.
That's cooler than anything I had. James Brolin, he took less money than he normally would in that movie because their budget was $4.7 million. They ended up making $86.4 million because he got 10% of the adjusted gross instead of his normal
smart
fee, which adjusted for inflation, the man made $63.5 million.
I'll take that for 6 months of work.
Hell yeah. You can't beat that with a stick. Right.
All right.
So it'd be my number 5 film. What's that?
On to 4.
It's on to my 5, right? Or did I already say my 5?
You already did your 5.
My 5 was his 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I keep.
Where did you have Amityville? You said it settled number 2 for you, right?
Number 2. It was 2 through 4 at different times. It kept moving around. Okay. But I eventually settled at number 2.
Okay.
I think I'm 99% sure you and I have the same number 1, but we'll get to that later.
We're on to Jared's 4.
On to Jared's number 4 film.
My 4 is When a Stranger Calls.
Good fucking movie. Well, Ryan, he's got it at number 3.
No.
4?
Also my number.
Also your number 4. When a Stranger Calls did not make my top 5.
Wow.
Did not make my top 5. See, I got a couple notes about it somewhere. Let's see. Carol Kane. She was in it. Wasn't she the Billy Crystal's wife in Princess Bride?
Yes.
Awesome.
She was also the Ghost of Christmas Present and Scrooged. I think it was
right.
Present.
Yeah. I'm not a bitch. I'm your wife.
Yeah.
I hate Christmas, but I watch that one every year.
Oh man, hey, I know I had notes on that. It was
made in 1979.
Yeah,
that's
so.
it. Yep. Sure. Actually, I was distracted, and all I got was the name of the film.
Really?
I didn't write anything else.
Well, obviously, it's Jared brought it up, but I'll just say it's just one of the most iconic openings ever. Yeah.
When I rewatched that this past week, and I thought the whole movie was her in the house and the guy calling her, and because that's what everything's focused on all the time. Like the killer is in the house, or he's calling from inside the house.
See, that's how iconic that is. Is if it's like, what's that? Where your memory is like. Yeah, fogged or whatever. Yeah,
a Mandela effect thing.
Yeah, that's it. Something like
I like to say barbershop windowed. Because everybody remembers Shawn Michaels kicking Marty Jannetty through the barbershop window, right?
He threw him through it though.
Absolutely, he never kicked him through the window, but everybody remembers it that way.
Right.
So me and the boy, the Don, we came up with that a long time ago. So whenever we remember something different, we say we barbershop windowed.
So you got barbershop windowed on this one.
Yeah. And Bill Wolf says she is also Latka's wife in Taxi.
That's right.
Yes, that's true. So another wrestling tie-in because it's Andy Kaufman.
So even though this movie didn't make my list, I grade the movies the way that I grade them I try to grade them like a critic, not how much I like or dislike the movie. So this movie's actually going to be graded higher than movies that are on my list. I'm going to give it a B for the way it was done, the suspense, everything. I really dug the way the film was made. It was very well made, and I liked other movies better, but I'm going to give it a B.
See, I remember it taking a while, so I'm going C.
C.
I have it also
C plus. What do you got?
I have it also as a B, because of just the first 20 minutes of that are just perfectly made. Like, it's like
when they open the door and the guy, the cop is there.
I mean,
ending, that was pretty cool.
Like the first 20 minutes and like the last like 10 are like
so fucking from the time she gets the call at the restaurant, right?
Yeah, it's just that middle hour is a little, you know, that middle act is not the best.
Not the best.
No,
that's
but
what stops it from being an A to me.
I love the ending though.
So. Yeah, the ending's great. The beginning's great. It's good film.
So I got a good tie-in on that one for you.
Okay, cool. Because I don't have nothing.
So, you know, let me get in the Dewey Decimal System and get into the library here. This film was directed by Fred Walton, who also directed April Fool's Day with our very own Amy Steele on Friday the 13th. And April Fool's Day was written, that's his name, by a guy named Danilo Bach, who was the writer and creator of the Beverly Hills Cop series.
Nice.
So I tied this film to Beverly Hills Cop with just one Kevin Bacon in between.
Hell yeah.
So there you go.
So your 4 was also this movie. So it's my 4th movie, right?
Yeah. Oh, wait, one more thing.
Mm-hmm.
Fred Walton also directed the 4th and final segment of the pilot episode of the remake of Alfred Hitchcock Presents, the 1985 version. And he covered An Unlocked Window, which is one of the best episodes of the original series. So, all right, I'm done.
All right. So my 4th movie on this list, and movie I just watched today. It's called Beyond the Darkness, directed by Joe D'Amato. Is one of you guys got this movie?
No.
Mm-mm.
It's an Italian movie dubbed into English. One of the better dubbed movies I've ever seen. The dialogue like kind of fits like almost perfect, which is cool. And it's about this guy. It's on Tubi for free, guys. It's I've been getting into the Italian films lately because of the Fulci thing, and so I seen this on there. It was only an hour and 20 minutes. I was like, well, I got to check it out, because either hopefully it's really bad or it's really good. And it was pretty good. And it has like your classic, very uncomfortable moments that these Italian movies have, where you're just like there's a part where he's got these like snips and he's snipping this girl's tips of her fingers off, and you're just like, oh God, I can't see this. And like it's not like Saw, where Saw or Terrifier, where everything's just super gory. It actually bothers you in these films, a little bit. Makes you uncomfortable, like way more than those do, which I kind of dig, because you don't really have that kind of feeling. And so it's about a guy who his girlfriend dies, and he's a taxidermist, so he taxidermies his girlfriend and keeps her around. And he has this really weird housekeeper that's like crazy sexually in love with this guy, like weird shit going on, dude. It's like she ends up giving him a handy while he's looking at his dead girlfriend. It's some weird shit, dude. It's pretty cool though, but I kind of liked it. But that became my number 4 movie, Beyond the Darkness. It's called, and it's free on Tubi.
That doesn't sound familiar to me at all for some reason. And who directed it?
Joe D'Amato. Don't even know who he is. And when I turned it on, I'm like, this is going to be the worst movie ever, and it's going to be awesome because it's going to be so bad. It wasn't. But the fonts are all crooked, like they just threw this shit together, And you watch it in the first couple of minutes, you're like, what kind of B movie bullshit is this?
Joe D'Amato sounds like a guy who'd be the head of like a Teamsters union.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he sounds
not an Italian film director.
He sounds like muscle for the Gambino family.
Yeah, he's like the head of the HOA in like New Jersey somewhere,
Joe D'Amato, I don't know.
Joe D'Amato.
Plus his brother.
Fuck with that guy.
Right. I think you'd like it, man. I really do, man. I think you'd probably dig it.
It's on the list now. I'm surprised I'm not familiar with that. Are you, Jared?
I never heard of it.
Yeah.
I did. It actually, here's the catch. See, if we were on the show that we stole our gimmick from, the Death Curse Society, this wouldn't count because it actually debuted in '84, but in Italy debuted in '79 and was
Why are you cheating?
Maybe I'm cheating. I don't know. So my criteria is when you go 1979 horror movies, all the ones that come up are fucking free game, and it came up. So So
fair enough.
Technicality, it would get discluded from the Death Cure Society gimmick. But we don't have rules. We're rebels.
So you're the only one that's going to grade that one, apparently, because Jared and I don't know it.
Again, like I said, I gave the last movie a B. The last movie's going to grade higher than this. It's a C to a C minus. It was just something really cool to see, man. I'll watch it again. Yeah, I liked it. It's brand new to me, so that might be why it's getting a higher grade or higher on my list, rather. I'm gonna go C minus. C minus.
Mm.
For being a foreign film and dubbed, and it was very well done. I mean, the movie wouldn't have won any Oscars. The practical effects were cool. The makeups were cool, like you'd expect from a good Italian horror movie. So,
well, my number 4 was the same as Jared, so we're on to his 3.
We're on to your 3.
Number 3 for me was Phantasm.
Phantasm. See, I got some. See, Brian's in here, and I told him to comment your 5, 4, 3, whatever movies he has.
He's probably busy coughing or counting all his money. He's a bitch.
He's not busy.
I thought I was going to roast the shit out of him on here.
Oh, we got it.
He's definitely not busy signing 8x10s.
Yeah.
So recently on your show, you did all the Poltergeist movies, 1, 2, and 3.
Yes.
And after you did them, I don't know if you noticed, but after you did them, I had to find them in other places. They're on Max now.
Of course they are.
So I got to watch part 2 recently, and so we got Reverend Kane, right?
Yeah.
And then we got the Tall Man from Phantasm.
Yep.
Yeah.
And this is a painting from my artist friend Angelo Mariano, who I got the painting you can see in the background over there that we'll talk about in a minute. I'm gonna bring that up again though. That is fucking awesome, isn't it?
That is really cool.
I mean, look at that ball. It's just insane. But which one of those guys do you think is more creepy? Which one of those guys are more nightmare? Kane.
Yeah. Creepy.
Kane.
Yeah. Kane.
So here's my thing for Phantasm. I just watched it. I watched it in the lead up to this, and I seen it as a kid, and I liked the movie. But I think this movie would have been a far better movie if they focused more on the tall man and the little kid, and that's it. They figured out a way to cut all the extra bullshit out. They were the highlight of the movie. Everything cool that happened in the movie was those two. And that's just my opinion. I don't know. I just think it would have been a better movie if they would have been able to do that.
I don't know, because they didn't want to overexpose me.
they had some weird shit going on this thing.
So, well, first things first, did it make your top 5?
It didn't.
Wow.
What the hell do you have on your list?
We'll get there. All right, well, I know what is the remaining.
Number 1. I mean,
I'll know his 3 and his 1. Phantasm is my number 2.
Yeah.
So I ranked it the highest out of us. Okay, which is wild because I'm not really much of a sci-fi kind of guy, and this one's more of a sci-fi horror than the other ones from this year. Mm-hmm. But I still like it a lot.
Right on.
But it's probably
I liked it. I'm gonna watch 2, 3, 4, whatever the hell,
See, they're watchable to me. This is the only one that I really like, but I can get down with the sequels.
Bill was booing something. What were you booing, Bill? He says, "Tall man is scary as fuck. Gotta love Reggie," and he gives it an A, 2 A's.
Oh wow! All right, I'm at a B minus for
B minus.
Man,
B plus.
I'm at a C minus.
B plus.
I'm at a C minus, but the parts with the boy and the tall man were some of the best stuff I've ever seen in horror.
Do you like the other Coscarelli stuff, like his modern stuff, or like
name some stuff? His name was familiar.
John Dies at the End and like Bubba Hotep, more funny.
Speaking
comedy.
of John Dies at the End, our friends at the Cine Nerds podcast are reviewing that movie tonight after our show. I have not seen it.
It's funny, but it's cool. It's not my cup of tea, but I can dig. I can dig why people like it. Bubba Hotep is Bruce Campbell, of course.
Yeah,
that's cool. It's not my cup of tea, but one of my very best friends, Pat Fleming, who one of his favorite movies is Bubba Hotep. So,
right on.
Yeah, I like Phantasm a lot. I think that the series went downhill after the original, but I mean, that's common, in horror. So yeah, I'm surprised I graded it higher than you guys though, but that's cool.
Yeah, right on. So I have 3 more on my list. I have 2 more on my list.
You got 2 more because we've already named your number 2.
Yeah. Yeah, my list is all screwed up. I screwed up something because I'm missing one that should be on my list, and I don't know which one to take off of my list to get the 2 that I want on my list. I have 3 left. I shouldn't have 3 left, but I have 3 left.
No.
Yeah, I fucked it up. Leave it to me. I fucked it up. Jared as his rating for Phantasm. Oh, it wasn't even on my list, buddy. So if you were booing him for where he had it on his list, at least it was on his list. Brian, he posted his whole list. I thought he was going to do it as we were doing it, but he didn't. So he's got Tourist Trap at 5. Yeah. When a Stranger Calls at 4, Prophecy at 3, Phantasm at 2, and Amityville also at number 1. He has a very glaring omission from his. Oh, I know why too. I know why. We'll get to that.
Yeah, we will.
Fuck that. Fuck Brian for that. I know why it's not on his list because it's not a horror movie.
Because he's big timing it.
Yeah, no, it's not a horror movie. That's why
it is though. But we'll get to
it.
That.
Absolutely is, but we'll get to that. And while we're on the subject of horror and not horror. Did you see Red State?
Mm-mm.
All right,
you want to get into this? You really think that's Kevin Smith's best fucking movie?
It's absolutely his best film.
You're out of your fucking head.
It's absolutely his best film. It's on Tubi for free, Ryan. If you get a chance, it's hardly ever on anything streaming. So watch it soon because it'll go away again, and it costs a lot of money to buy on DVD.
Whose best movie do you say it is?
Kevin Smith.
Kevin Smith's best movie?
Absolutely.
See, I'm not a huge Kevin Smith guy, but I dig some of his stuff. I don't know. I think probably Clerks is still his best movie. His first one.
Clerks is amazing.
It's easily Clerks.
Dog was really good. I am a Kevin Smith fan. Red State, Bill Wolf says true. I think he's talking about that. But what I was going to ask you,
I think you wrecked an Uber and just don't remember, and you hit your head really fucking hard.
I seen it when it first came out, and I've been trying to see it again.
Chasing Amy was better than Red State.
Get the fuck out of here!
Yeah, come on.
Chasing Amy's good. Okay, my bad. You said Chasing Amy, but in my ear, I heard Jersey, the movie with Ben Affleck.
Oh, Jersey Girl's terrible.
Yeah, that's what I heard when you said Chasing Amy. Chasing Amy's fucking amazing.
Chasing Amy, I like.
Yeah. I heard Jersey Girl, which is horrible.
That wasn't coming out of my mouth.
No, his worst movie ever is
the cop movie with Bruce Willis.
Absolutely.
And Tracy Morgan.
But he made that movie to get the money to make Red State.
Yeah.
Why did you bring up Red State though?
I was going to ask you if you thought it was a horror film.
Oh, no.
Brian was kind of saying no. I think it is.
I'll let you know.
You'll let me know. I really hope you find the time to watch it.
It was a good movie. Don't get me wrong.
Of your opinion on it.
Putting it up there with, man, fucking Ohio people.
So I just derailed this totally. I don't know. Where are we at?
You're number 3.
We're at my number 3.
Yeah.
And here's where it gets fucked up because I got 2 movies there.
Oh, Bill Wolf said, then Jay and Silent Bob. And I agree with that. I love Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. I don't give a shit.
It is so good.
All right.
So good. So funny. But I have 2 movies. And one, we'll go through both of them just because they're here. We're here. I don't know how it happened. I'm writing shit down. I'm scraping shit out. I got Tourist Trap.
Mm-hmm.
And the other movie I have ranked higher, but they both are technically listed here at 3.
I know what it is.
Tourist Trap. I watched that on a whim. I want to say it was on Brian's recommendation like a year ago, and he was talking about it on your show and said it wasn't as good as he thought it was, and blah blah blah. And I was like, oh man, it's the only reason I did watch it was because of him. And it's kind of got some Texas Chainsaw vibes to it, which is why I really liked it.
A little bit.
And did that make either one of your guys' list? Tourist Trap?
Nope.
No.
Free on Tubi. It's got the fucking Rifleman starring the what's the Rifleman's name?
Oh God.
Why
are you
my notes are so screwed up this week. Chuck
Rick,
Connors.
I'm getting you a voice recorder. It'll make your life easier.
But how am I going to access the stuff on the voice recorder during the show?
There's some AI you can print it out.
Oh, yes, I'd be able to read it better. I need the other monitor gimmick so I could just have it right there.
Okay, they're on Facebook Marketplace for $20. Go
I know.
for it.
I know. I probably got to get a better computer to be able to run 2 monitors now.
Just look on the back of your computer.
Yeah, it has another output, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So we'll check it. Yeah, I did used to build computers, so I can install a new video card if I needed to.
Tourist Trap is all right. Didn't make my list. I'm familiar with it though.
Yeah, it was okay.
Yeah.
I liked it. I thought it was pretty cool. Classic 70s horror vibe slasher, but it's like just got a supernatural element to it. Pretty cool. But my the one that replaced it though, that had to be on my list, but I wanted to bring up Tourist Trap because I really like that too. But they both were on there. Is Zombie.
I knew it.
Yeah, because number 1. So process of elimination. So I got my zombie shirt. Got my awesome zombie painting. So I'm new to the Fulci thing. I just filled the cup. What cup did you fill?
It's from Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know, and I've seen that movie.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about
it.
It's something I say to my wife all the time.
I will fill it. I'll figure it out later. But and he's doing the Jungle Love thing, Bill Wolf.
Yeah,
I do remember that.
That one didn't make my list.
But what's weird is like all these lines coming through chat aren't about Red State. That's weird. Like,
well, they might not have seen it. You haven't been able to see this movie in 15 years. Like, unless you owned it, you can't buy it, you can't rent it. It hasn't been streaming, so it hasn't been seen. But it's really fucking good, man. But Zombie. So I wanted to get into Fulci because Zigzag, he's always talking about Fulci stuff, and Jamie from Bloody Essentials, she's big into the Italian horror. So I wanted to get into a little bit more of that stuff, and I was getting into the Romero films, of course, which Zombie is called Zombie 2 because it was supposed to be a sequel to Dawn of the Dead. Found that out recently. Cool fact. It is not, and Fulci never intended for it to be that, but other places they wanted people to think it was, so they would go and see it.
Yeah.
And that's why it was called Zombie 2. Because in other places, I guess maybe Dawn of the Dead was called Zombie, and they wanted people to think it was related. It's not related. But it has a legit shoot fucking real shark fighting with a zombie. I mean, that gives it a fucking C right there. I mean, there's a real shark swimming in the fucking ocean and a zombie taking bites off of it. Like, really swimming with it. Like, that's shit you can't do today. Once I found that out when I was watching it with my, and ironically though, the painting, I'm all over the place. The painting, I seen Angelo starting to paint this painting, and I had never seen the movie, and I was like, that looks really fucking cool, and I want it. So I made the deal to buy the painting. So me and my wife were watching a movie and wanted to watch something we haven't seen, so we turned on Zombie, and lo and behold, this motherfucker pops up in the movie, and I'm like, holy shit, that's the guy from the painting I just bought. But I bought it more so because I liked the painting than I liked the movie. But then I watched the movie and I liked the movie too. The zombie did not have shark spray like Batman.
No,
he would have been better off. That's Brian says that. So I guess that was everybody did. We're up to 3s. We're up to Jared's 2.
I haven't done my 3.
We're done 3. We're 3.
No.
How did it get to me before you then? I don't know.
Because you got fucked up a Red State.
Yeah. It's all good. So, am I the only one that's seen Zombie?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, that's also free on Tubi. I am getting the 4K of it in a couple of days. So, those of you that live close to me and want to see it, I'll let you use it. I'm going to give it a B for sure. It's not an A. But the effects, like it's got that, like we were talking about the other Italian movie, the very uncomfortableness that he has in his movies, and like when the zombie bites in it, pulls. It has like the pool on the skin, and it looks like legit, like he's like eating people. It's so awesome. Oh, Brian says he's seen it on the big screen. Lucky bastard. But,
so you graded it a B, and then the second thing I was going to ask what your letter is, and the second point I was going to make. every time Rick says it's free on Tubi, we should get some sponsorship pay.
Yeah,
no doubt, dude. Right?
Rick is secretly sponsored by Tubi, and even I don't know it.
Yeah, he don't know because then I'd have to share the checks.
Yeah. Fucking Jim Barnett over here. That's a deep one.
My boy.
Anyway, yeah. All right, my number 3, and it didn't make anyone's list, and I always enjoyed it. But I recently, over the last 10 years, have grown an affinity for a certain thing, or a certain place, rather. And that's why this film ranks higher for me than it does most other people. And that's The Driller Killer.
No.
I have the
Driller Killer. I didn't get to that one this week.
I love it.
Give me that one. Go ahead. Give me that one, Michaela. That's fine.
It's very dirty. It's very grimy. It's late 70s, sleazy, filthy New York City. And this is an art house film disguised as a slasher film. That's pretty much exactly what this is.
So that is also free on Tubi.
Yeah.
Ka-ching!
And because they pay me every time I do.
Now, Abel Ferreira, who directed this, is also the star of it. This was his directorial debut full-length film. He went on to direct other dirty, kind of crime-ridden New York movies like King of New York with Christopher Walken, and also Bad Lieutenant with Harvey Keitel.
That's where Biggie got his name from.
I know.
Yeah.
Abel Ferrara, the star and director of Driller Killer, went on to direct that film. And he just, like, all his films are in New York, and I love him for it because I love New York so much. And the city in and of itself is like a character in this. It's just so, man, you just got to see it. You just really do.
Is this the quickest hour we've ever done?
Could be.
It's an hour, dude, already. That's crazy.
Now,
King of New York is also on Tubi. It sure is.
I bet it is. Well, Abel Ferreira, probably all his stuff's on there then.
Yeah, the Driller Killer's on there. And I was going to watch it because it made me think of Slumber Party Massacre.
Yeah, it's much better than that.
It's much better than Slumber Party Massacre?
Much better than that, to me.
Oh, wow.
But again, dude, this is an art house film. It's not just a straight, just throwaway horror movie. It's really not. It's a lot deeper than that. And anybody that's ever been in the arts, music, writing, anything, movies, whatever, how it is to struggle. And just mentally what you go through, we kind of see this guy transform into this fucking maniac, right before our eyes. But it's like
check it out.
But it's like a double life he's leading too, though, because he still has to keep it together day to day. Well, until something happens. Rick hasn't seen it, so I won't say what.
Bill said he watched it this past weekend.
Oh, I love it.
Have you seen it, Jared?
No.
Really? I'm surprised. I mean, it's well known. It's not like
I'll have to check it. I've heard of it. I just never.
Yeah, it's definitely not like a super.
Yeah, it was on all the lists I see, and I never seen it.
Yeah,
or if I did, it was one of those ones I watched as a kid and don't remember. But
yeah, it's my number 3, and like eventually, I'm sure we're gonna do like a thing of like most underrated like horror films.
Yeah, it'll be on that list.
This will definitely make that list, and I have it as a B, since I'm the only one gonna be grading it. I have it as a B, and man, like if I just got home from a vacation in New York and watched it, it might even be bumped up a little bit higher because. I just love the juxtaposition.
Bill also rated it a B.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Had you said you hadn't seen it, right, Jared?
Nope.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I love it.
Do you have it? Do you have any? You have one movie left on your list, right?
Yep.
Jared's 2
as well, and you have 2 left.
Jared has 2 left, and I have 1 left. Or Jared has his number 2. I have my number 1, and you have your number 1.
Yeah. So we each have 1 left. He has 1 left. So, Jared, what's the last movie on your list? Where did it rank, and what was it?
Aliens, my number 2.
There you go. All right, okay. And that's the movie that Brian didn't even put on his list because he doesn't think
it's not a horror movie. It's a fucking scary movie. It's
absolutely a horror movie.
It's a great fucking movie. It's hard designed. The dude that they designed it after wrote horror books. So guess what? It's a fucking horror movie.
It's got all the slasher elements. It's got your final girl. The killer's creeping in the shadows. Comes out only 4 minutes of screen time. You know, like it is. Yes, it's sci-fi as well, but so is Phantasm sci-fi.
It's not horror, sci-fi, bitch. Bitch, we're on the show. Where are you at?
Yeah. It's 100% a horror movie.
Rick, it's your number one, right?
It's absolutely my number one.
Yeah.
Same.
Great movie.
Yeah. And that's I figured we all have the same number one, but then I should have known Amityville's going to be higher for him. But at least he has number two.
Oh, no problem with number two.
Because it's a fucking amazing movie.
Mm-hmm. It is. It's just so well made. I mean, Ridley Scott, who made so many good movies. Jesus. And it's probably the most parodied scene in horror movies. Well, maybe the shower scene in Psycho. But other than that, the dinner scene of this movie has just been parodied and copied so many times. It's just iconic. It's iconic. The chest buster, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a fantastic movie. It's 100. I think we're all going to rate it an A.
Oh yeah, look at all the great actors in it too, and just
Tom Skerritt.
You know, John Hurt, man. You know.
Brian says, "Hello, my baby. Hello, my." Yeah, absolutely.
See, exactly, and you think of that right away because it's just.
And it was the same actor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The same actor in both films.
Yeah.
Bill Wolf says, "Hey, Phase." I don't see Phase here, but maybe he does. But hey,
Alien for me is absolutely an A.
Yeah, it is. It's amazing. I just got to see it in the theater a couple weeks ago, and it was awesome. And it has all the elements of your. There he is, Chris Phase. He says, "I finally made it to the stream, Rick. Woo! Hey, what's up, brother?"
See now. Yeah, go ahead, Jared.
We're stealing your gimmick, Chris, from Death Curse Society. He's the producer from Death Curse Society, Chris Phase.
I need a producer. How do I get a producer?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to ask
you need Jared. Jared, how you get a producer? You got to get that Tubi money, brother.
Tubi, it's on Tubi. It's on Tubi. Pay me.
No doubt. But yeah, do I have any cool facts about Alien? I don't know. Did I get
a ton?
I know there was a ton, but I don't know what it won the Oscar for special effects. So it's an Oscar-winning horror film.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Screw you, Brian. The blue lasers were borrowed. The blue lasers in the scene with the eggs and shit. They were borrowed from the Who was next door in a soundstage doing a video.
I didn't know
that. And they had the lasers. Yeah.
Hmm.
So that's a cool thing. They used a German Shepherd to scare Jones, the cat. They have the German Shepherd behind the thing, and you have cats, Ryan, and you know, like, he sees the thing, and, you know, they get that little cat freak out thing. Yeah. It was inspired by 3 movies: Star Wars, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and 2001: Space Odyssey.
One of those things is not like the other.
But one of those things is a goddamn horror movie, one of the best ever, which makes this one of the best horror movies ever. And Brian can eat a dick. You can eat a bag full of them.
3 things. 3 things. 1, 2, 3 things.
Yeah.
This is absolutely a horror movie. This is not my favorite movie in the franchise.
Ooh.
But the one that I like better is not a horror movie. So,
the sequel, Aliens?
Obviously.
Okay, James Cameron.
Yeah, it's an action movie. It's not a horror movie, but I like it a little bit better.
Right. And when we talked about Final Girls on our audio only pod back in the day, Ridley Scott came up. Or not Ridley Scott.
Sigourney Weaver.
Sigourney Weaver came up.
Yeah, definitely.
Ripley.
Yeah.
Vanessa Cartwright was in The Birds.
Veronica Cartwright,
which is exactly what I wrote. I just can't read my writing.
She's also an alum. She's also a Twilight Zone alum. Episode's called "I Sing the Body Electric." It's from season 5.
It's amazing how you can do that. You throw any Twilight Zone episode in the world out at him, he's gonna know the name of it, the actors in it, everything. It's insane. He's special. He's got some Rain Man to him.
What are the first letter of my first and middle name and my last name? Spell it out.
What?
What's my first name?
Spell out your...
What's my first name?
It's Ryan.
Take that first letter. What's
R?
my middle initial?
I believe it's an A.
Mm-hmm. And then take my last name.
I.
Spell it.
R-A-I. I don't get
my
it.
whole last name.
R-A-I-N-M-A-N?
Yeah, spell it out.
Rain Man! Yeah, I fucked that bit up, huh? That would have been funny if I was smart enough to catch on to that.
Yeah. A little bit.
No doubt, dude. That's so funny. I got it in front of me too on the screen. I could have just bam right there. I just read it.
Well, my middle initial isn't up there, but I know you know it.
You know what it is, yeah. Right on. So that was the top 5. Aliens is definitely the more popular title, but I'll always lean towards the original personally, Chris Faze.
True.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I want to throw this out there real quick too. What a scary setting to be in space. You're helpless. You can't go anywhere.
Scary like horror, right?
Yeah.
Dude, it's a horror movie.
Yeah.
Look it up on IMDb. It says horror right there.
I mean, could there be a scarier setting? You know, I mean, it became like a trope later in horror.
The tagline in space, no one can hear you scream.
Yeah, you know, put him in space became like a trope later, but this is like way before that.
Yeah. No, it's definitely definitely a horror movie. Definitely scary. Yeah. And well acted. And it had like we talk about sometimes how Jaws is like basically a slasher with the shark. And it has the slasher elements. The killer's hiding in the shadows. He doesn't come out all the time. You don't know when he's there. You don't know when he's going to attack. It has the final girl. It has the chase scene at the end. It is a fucking horror movie.
See, Jaws, when we talked about our favorite non-R-rated horror movies, it was my number 1, was Jaws.
Bill Wolf, he says, Ryan the Guru.
Oh, I know
what actor has been killed by a Terminator, a Predator, and an alien? I know it is easy, but let's hear it. To me, it's not easy. Let's see if he knows.
Terminator, a Predator, and an alien?
Yeah.
Been killed by all 3. What actor?
Bill Paxton.
Yeah, it's got to be from part 2 of
It's probably there's probably not too many actors that have been all 3 franchises.
Eddie was over the Titanic.
Yeah. There's probably not too many people that have been in all 3 movies. Yes, it's Bill Paxton.
It's got to be.
Cool. I didn't know that. But let's see. We're at 1 hour and 10 minutes. We usually only go for an hour. I support the idea that Jaws is a slasher. It does hit the right beats. Absolutely. Jaws is a slasher, and so is Alien. And Lance Henriksen, he says, he was killed by all 3, or he was in all 3 movies? He was in Terminator. He was in Alien. Was he in Predator?
He was in Predator 2.
Was he killed by a Predator?
Yeah.
Was he killed by a Terminator? Was he killed by Arnold? Yes, right?
Yeah.
And was he killed by an alien? Yes.
Wasn't he an android? So he technically wasn't killed.
Yeah, so technically he wasn't killed. Look at this guy with the technicalities.
Who knows? Depends on how you lay
it. Yeah, I guess if he's not alive, he can't be killed. Well, anywho, this has been the best movies of 1979. Like I said, it was a very top-heavy year. Very top-heavy.
It was a rough year to cover, Rick. I got to tell you, it took me a long time to make this list.
Yeah, I thought we'd have a lot of the same ones. We had a couple different ones, so I was kind of impressed with that. Like Ryan had some stuff I didn't have, and I had a couple you guys didn't have, and so on. So that was cool.
So yeah, I will watch Red State. You guys watch Driller Killer.
We will do that. And so we've been going for about 1 hour and 11 minutes, which we're on overtime today. Which it's been the quickest 1 hour and 11 minutes in the history of the show.
Yeah, it does.
Which is awesome. There's a great conversation due to our guest Jarad Hagerty from Halloween Haunts 365, as well as the Horrorshed podcast. Rob Dow finally to pop it in. He says Phantasm was the best. The show probably went better because Brian played us and didn't come on.
St. John's, Michigan, Jason with the run in during the main event. Come on.
No, I'm just kidding. Brian's not feeling well. So while Brian's on, though, I talked about your see, I'll do it again since you weren't on in the beginning. Got this from Brian, and I got the awesome webcam that's helping you guys see me better tonight. And he's feeling a little under the weather, so we're going to hope that he feels better, and we can have him on at a later date and time. Next week, we're going to have said the guy's name and I forgot it.
Yeah, from the film festival.
Yeah, Ron George. Ron George is the guy's name. He's a special effects guy. He ran this film festival I went to. It was really cool. Tomorrow on YouTube, what was the name of that movie I said? Jacob's Little Helper. A little mockumentary of Friday the 13th films. I promise if you like Friday the 13th, you will like it. You will be entertained by it, and you'll be like, that's funny shit. That's about the best I'm going to give you for that, though. I'll be following Jarad now, Bill Wolf says. Yes, follow him on Halloween Haunts 365, as well as the Horror Shed podcast on Facebook, and most importantly on YouTube, because
YouTube, I'm close. I'm getting there.
He's really close to 1,000 follows on that.
Where are you at now?
Halloween Haunts.
How many do you have now?
871, and I got to try and hit 1,000 by September 1st. That was the goal.
Oh, you'll get it by then.
I'm glad I caught the end of the show. It's looking great, Rick. Thanks, Chris. Yeah, no, we have a lot of fun here. Last week we had Melanie Kinnaman, so we've been getting some pretty good guests. I mean,
it's all downhill from there.
Right, you guys did awesome, though. I do want to say that you guys did the interview. It went really good. It went smooth. It was fun.
Ryan actually saved us. I didn't tell him off here, but he saved us in that interview. I had nothing, man. I was looking for questions to ask her. She wasn't in too many things, so I didn't have too much stuff.
After the show, I'll tell you a secret.
Okay, and he had all those New York questions, which really sparked the conversation and got us going in the right direction. So he saved us for sure.
Yeah, I figured I'd ask her some different kind of shit other than just movie stuff.
Right, and I tried to do that too. I just couldn't come up with anything. You know, I'm working 15 hours a day, 8 days a week,
and I now have a pizza date with her. So
hey,
absolutely. Well, you got one for sure, and then you got one in New York too. She said maybe one day we'll have lunch in New York, but we're definitely going to see her in Monroe, Michigan at Monroe Comic-Con, because why not plug it real quick? And you're going to go get her a Freddy's pizza, which is the next best thing to anything you can get in New York, and share it with her. I would go with just the cheese if you weren't going to already.
Yep.
You know, because she probably does. She looks like the type that don't eat meat. Number one, and number two, if you want to really taste a slice and grade a slice, has to be a cheese.
Well, I'll text her leading up to the event too, and make
sure.
Yeah, I got the details. So. So, did you have anything you wanted to add, Jarad? You want to plug your podcast? I mean, I tried to plug it, but you can.
Yeah, you did good. Just make sure you subscribe on YouTube. We've had a lot of really good interviews. Some crazy shows that flowed really well. This one coming up, it has a lot to do with Castle Dracula, which was a big deal when I was a kid. It was a haunted attraction on the Wildwood Boardwalk that burnt down 22 years ago, I think. And now they're doing a lot to try and bring that memory back, and the guy that leads the Facebook page was on. We got a bunch of behind the scenes tours coming as soon as I can walk again. We have 3 haunts waiting for us to get out there, so there's gonna be a lot of cool shit on
cast off though, so you're heading in the right direction.
Yeah, I've been crutching a lot more. I just can't take a step, man. I can stand up. I can stand up fine. I can stay. I cook dinner, so I mean, like, I could stand. I just can't step.
Right on. Yeah, your podcast on the haunt side has really gotten me back into haunted houses and going to haunts, and it's real fun to do it with my family. Both of my kids like to go. My wife likes to go. We've been having a blast doing it, and I review them for you when I can. And Ryan's been to a couple with me too, and it's just it's really cool to hear like your expert opinion on the topic, because like you said earlier before you went on, you showed us a picture of you in like what 85 was it?
Yeah,
something like that. Ride, yeah. Going way back then. So you've been doing it for so long and been into it for so long that you really know what's going on, what's cool, and it's really a good listen.
I'm not the biggest haunted house guy, man, but I had fun going to the ones I did last year.
Yeah, they've changed a lot in the last 10 years or so. Where the technology is amazing, and once they get the hold on 3D mapping and projector mapping, we're going to see a whole new ball game.
And speaking of Ron George, our guest next week, he actually, I didn't even think about it until we started talking about it, but he actually does a lot of the effects for Nightmare Cleveland.
Yeah.
So I've experienced those firsthand.
Right. So we'll be able to talk to him about his haunt career, his career in films. He's done some independent films. He does some. I went on his website. He does really good work, and the whole film festival deal and stuff like that.
That was the second best haunt I went to last year.
Right. Oh yeah, because you went to Chippewa, right?
Yeah, that was number one.
Chippewa's amazing. I can't wait for you to go. I really, really hope you make it to Ohio.
We're about 80% for Ohio this year. Every year we try to get to a new area. So
see,
the legendary haunt tour is coming to Ohio. We might hop on that, or we might just do it solo.
Yeah, well, you let me know as soon as you do know, because I'm going to take days off, and I got take you to some really cool places to eat, cool filming locations around town. Like,
if I have it my way, and it really depends on the schedules of these places, I'm pretty much gonna just dot the map in Ohio.
Make the loop.
Because Chippewa is definitely there. I need to get to Cincinnati for Dent. I need to get to Columbus for Fear Columbus. And I definitely want to check out Nightmare Cleveland.
And the Fear Columbus guys work with the Chippewa guys and the Nightmare Cleveland guys. They're all tied.
You can do Nightmare and Chippewa on the same day.
Yeah, we figured that out. They're 25 minutes apart, I believe.
Yeah.
And I have connections to get us right in.
Yep.
Okay.
You know, like above VIP. Like we it's like, hey man, I got this guy. He reviews haunts. We got to get in, and we got to get in first, and he'll make it happen.
Dude, and I'll tell you, I am the most casual, like, haunted house goer.
Yeah.
That place blew my fucking mind.
Yeah, I've been hearing about it for
walking through Texas
years.
Chainsaw.
So I don't want to give away
any Chainsaw fan. It's like nothing
I won't
else.
give any spoilers, but the last exhibit or whatever towards the end of that is the most amazing thing.
Yeah, he knows because I reviewed it for him for the video. He forgot.
You're in a real fucking airplane.
Oh no, not that part. Yeah, but I told him about that too. But I thought you were talking about the one scene.
That is the airplane. Just dude, you can't copy that.
Nah, you can't.
Know?
So
it's unbelievable. It was just so fucking cool.
So we're at 1 hour and 20 now, so we got to wrap this up. We got to get out of here. Everybody, check us out next week at 7. Check out the Horrorshed podcast, Halloween Haunts 365. Bolt debut Monday, really early. I listened to them both at about 6:30 in the morning on Monday. Check them out on the YouTube. The videos are awesome. Jared does an amazing job with that kind of shit, and Melanie Kinnaman can attest to that. And you got anything you wanted to add before we get out of here?
Yeah, I'm just staying here for a minute, with you guys after. I want to ask Jared a couple questions off the air.
Off air?
Yeah.
Okay.
But other than that, all I have to say is there goes the neighborhood.